During the prime spring season, you need wholesome, convenient meals to energize you for warmer, more active days and keep you on track reaching your goals. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and tackle everything on your to-do list. Head to factormeals.com/supermega50 and use code SUPERMEGA50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code SUPERMEGA50 at factormeals.com/supermega50 to get 50% off your first box.
Are you sure this hat works on me? It's not like, it doesn't look like I'm trying too hard with the hat.
Sorry, I need to take a swig of my water. But you look beautiful today, especially in that hat. That hat, I think, is a big part of it. And that isn't also to say that you wouldn't be beautiful without the hat. It's just that it highlights your beauty.
Really?
Yeah. Or sorry, your machismo.
That's what I was looking for. I don't know. I'm just nervous that people might think it's like a try hard thing. Like I'm coming off like I'm trying too hard to like look hip because now that
no, it's a
now I'm in my
what style of hat would you say that is?
It's like a leather, cool guy.
It's a leather like Jacksepticeye hat.
Yeah, like kind of. It's like a newsboy meets leather daddy.
Yeah,
type vibe, and it's like now that I'm in my late 20s, kids on the internet might go, oh, well, he's not the young hip spry YouTuber he was back in the day, and they might accuse me of trying too hard to like look.
No,
cool.
I think that hat makes you look young and vibrant and willing to try new things. You're not afraid to look stupid, and you don't. You don't look stupid.
But you just said I'm not afraid to look stupid, which would imply that the hat does look stupid.
No, that would imply that people trying new things and going out of their comfort zone would make them think that something looks stupid.
Okay.
I think you missed the forest for the trees.
Okay, sure. I don't know what that means, and I refuse to even think about what that might mean. But welcome to Super Mega Cast.
Nope.
No?
Sorry, you can welcome them.
Jeez, dude. Welcome to Super Mega Cast, boys and girls. For the audio listeners, I'm trying a new hat out. I'm trying something new. It's something
we already described. It's a leather Jacksepticeye Newsboys leather daddy like crossover.
Not Newsboys is in the Christian band, but
no,
maybe they look like they would wear
as
this
in
type
like
of
the
hat.
Newsies.
Yeah, Newsies.
Maybe that's what meant. Not the news.
Not news, but also I could see.
You meant like the newspaper boys.
Yes.
Like
that
paper boy.
That type of hat. But
Newsboys.
I could see the Newsboys wearing this type of hat too. It's a pretty cool hat.
Ooh.
And I'm not ashamed to try something new when it comes to fashion.
And it worked out spectacularly, if I do say so myself.
Wait for it.
Spectacularly.
That's right. That's a weird freaking word, brother. Spectacularly.
Because of the tacularly.
Tacularly.
Yeah.
It's just come on, man. Shorten it. Just what. It doesn't need to be doing all that. You know?
No.
How have you been though? What's new? What's new in the life of McGee?
I'm good. I went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Did they guard the galaxy this time?
They were more so guarding their friend. The premise, without spoiling too much, is that the Guardians of the Galaxy have to come together and not save the universe, the galaxy. They have to save
their
a friend.
Friendship. Oh, their friend, yeah. I'm not into that woke shit that they're pushing now.
I enjoyed it. I
heard that they used the F word.
They did. And it was a pretty natural push, and it didn't feel forced. They didn't like zoom in and go, fuck you. It was just kind of like they said it in a moment. It was really kind of like...
I won't be watching it because of that. I will be boycotting the movie.
You haven't seen either the first... Wait, you've seen the first one, right?
No.
Or the second one?
Nope. And I won't be seeing the third one.
They're fine if you're... I feel like for those who aren't interested in Marvel, I know this is still quippy, but I feel like James Gunn brings enough of a personality and different kind of edge than Joss Whedon, per se, who did The Avengers and kind of overdid that and made it very Funko Pop-esque. I would if it were a mood in a movie,
That was the mood board they brought to the movie. It's just a picture of a bunch of Funko Pops. This is what we're going for.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But I think that Guardians of the Galaxy, as a trilogy of films, Maybe it's because I know like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, like James Gunn got canceled and then got rehired and all that stuff. But I feel like he made just a nice, fun, heartfelt trilogy that it's a sci-fi adventure film. It's not trying to be. It's not like a Blade Runner sci-fi. It's not trying to be. It knows what it is, and I can respect that. It doesn't know what it is, and it's not like there's a lot of movies where you can tell that they hire a director just to hire a director. It's like, this needs to be directed to get some guy to do it, and the director's like, yeah, the script says this, so I'm going to do this. Sure, yeah, verbatim, whatever, no creativity. James Gunn puts a lot of, I would feel like, it's his personality. He adds a lot of, like he talks through a microphone into speakers on set, so he can just ad lib and talk to the actors as they're doing their stuff.
It's like a James Gunn podcast live on the spot.
Yeah, But while it's not like, as I said, it doesn't like blow you out of the water. I think it's as I said before, heartfelt, well made, fun, and probably the most depressing Marvel movie because it deals with animal cruelty.
The little raccoon fucker?
Mm-hmm.
That guy?
It goes into his backstory. And as I said, I'm not going to spoil much, but he is a tragic character. He's always, they have always referenced in the past movies. And just to update you on, like, he has some sort of past. There's something that there's a reason he is the way he is.
He was a drug dealer.
Sure. No.
Something dark like that.
Yeah, something, whatever it is.
He struggled with pot addiction.
Yeah, exactly. We all struggle with certain things.
Yeah. Ryan.
But I if you like those types of movies, if you just like going to whatever, I'd recommend it. It's definitely the best Marvel film in a long ass time.
Really?
Yeah. Because they had Ant-Man and then
Quantumania. You didn't think that was the best?
I didn't see it. I didn't care.
Then how can you say that? How can you say that this was the best Marvel movie in a long time when you haven't even seen? Did you see Black Adam?
That's a DC movie. I saw Wakanda granted, I fell asleep on the plane while watching Wakanda Forever, but I got the gist of it. I got it. I saw most of it.
Yeah. Was it?
It was long.
Was it Wakanda Forever?
It was Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, forever because of how long the freaking movie is.
Hey, amen.
And
then there was like another recent one. Oh, the Thor Love and Thunder. I thought like fell flat for me.
I didn't even know there was another Thor movie.
Yeah, the second one directed by Taika Waititi.
Waititi?
Yeah.
Nice.
That one felt just very like Funko Pop. Again, to bring up the mood board.
Bring a kind of Funko Pop vibe to the movies.
Then Sam Raimi directed Multiverse of Madness, which, Sam Raimi got goofy in it, but it was... James Gunn just found a really good balance, I feel, with Guardians of the Galaxy of having it please the studio and the audience without sacrificing artistic integrity. And It's cool to see that, especially with a big brand like Marvel who is controlled by Disney.
Right.
I don't know.
What I heard a lot about and then didn't hear anything about, and I don't know what the dealio is these days.
My album?
I don't know if you want to give any of that away yet,
Spent more than I made.
Oh, yeah. But, we don't need to get into it.
What? I'll entertain you. What?
I wanted a feature. I gave you a feature on my album, and I thought if maybe returning the favor would be nice, but, it's fine. It's fine.
Go on to what you were going to say.
I was going to say, well, I do want to talk about this after the podcast, though, because I do, it actually was kind of rude that you didn't give me a feature when I asked. You didn't even text me back, but we don't need to get into that.
I just think that we had creative differences.
Okay, you gave Angry Joe a feature, and he doesn't even sing. So, whatever.
Angry Joe, he doesn't have, I won't, whatever.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into it later. But basically, there was all that fuss, right, about the Minecraft movie. And then just what, is that even happening?
It was going to be directed by the Always Robert.
Yeah, Always Robert. Always Robert was going to direct the movie. Rob McElhenney.
Yeah, Always Robert.
That does sound like a YouTuber. What's up, guys? It's Always Robert, and today I got an incredible announcement. I'm going to be directing the Minecraft movie. Where is... Okay, wait. I got to look up if the Minecraft movie is still happening. Hey.
If Always Robert were, the director of a film in a competition, he would have beat out Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson did win because he was the most talented person. For those, I'm referencing when Shane Dawson was in a short film competition that was also like a TV show. It was like a battle of the filmmakers. And he won, and he got his movie, it was, everyone got to make one.
What movie was his? Was it the Smiley one?
I thought it was the, I thought it was the high school one.
That we watched?
Not Cool. No, there was because there's like a movie-ish thing, and then there's a movie, right?
Yeah. I mean, Shane Dawson,
not the one where he's fat, the one where he just like, the one where everyone's horny in every video. It's the one with that like, they're at the party at the end, and there's this famous line. A large woman walks by the camera and walks by a character, and that character reacts. No. They don't even make a character react. She's excited because someone mentioned that there would be butter somewhere.
Yes, and she freaks out.
Did somebody say butter? I think is the line.
Shane Dawson was in the writer's room fucking just slapping his knee.
If some fat bitch walks in front of the camera?
Why'd you give him that voice like he's Bill Burr? I think some fat bitch walks by the camera. Okay, Minecraft movie is coming out April 4th, 2025.
Still directed by Always Robert?
No, dude.
What?
It's not directed by all right, dude. It's not directed by Always Robert.
Give it to me. Give it to me straight and simple.
You are going to maybe flip a single shit when you hear this name. Jared Hess. Let the gears turn for a second.
Jared Hess?
He's got a brother that he makes movies with the same last name.
It's not ringing any bells.
They made a certain postmodern slice of life film in 2004 set in a small town in Idaho.
Napoleon Dynamite director?
Yeah, and Nacho Libre director.
No way.
He's doing the Minecraft movie.
Wait, that director or someone related to him?
Jared Hess.
Jared Hess. Oh, okay.
Screenplay by Rob McElhenney. And I don't know these other names, but Roy Lee is producing it. He's a very famous producer.
Oh, it's just something else to add. I wanted to add with this, I hate to be that guy, but if you look over here, damn it.
I'm not looking at the circle game, dude.
Whatever, dude.
You can't get me with that.
Fuck you. You looked down before I could do it. If I had it there.
I didn't look down.
You did. You looked down before I even placed it there. Like, but then you're
not going to get me. You're not.
No, I'm not going to get you. I'm telling you what happened. Look at me. I'm telling you what happened. I'm not trying to get you. I'm not trying to goof you right now. I raised my hands up so Matt knew that. Okay.
Don't put those hands down.
I've been doing this for warm up, baby.
Jason,
JK, I don't want to do this.
Dude,
I'm comfortable.
Jason Momoa and Steve Carell are in the Minecraft movie. That's the only cast they've announced.
That is unfortunate.
And it's Warner Brothers doing it. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it's happening. I didn't know it was. I stopped hearing about it, and then I just wasn't sure what was going on there.
The only thing I feel like I've liked Jason Momoa in was the Game of Thrones, where all he did was like grunt and go, and danced around and got really violent. I don't think I've ever watched something he's done and like been taken into the character.
I don't think there's any way for them to make the Minecraft movie without it just looking like one of those like Captain Sparkles music videos, where they just like overly like they animated the characters like to have a little more like.
They're gonna make it the Lego movie, and it's gonna be like some kid who doesn't have friends, and he's gonna discover them in Minecraft. Then they're gonna have to meet in real life at the end in the climax,
and it's like real life people.
Yeah,
we could be in the Minecraft movie. I mean, there's still so much time, guys. That's if Ryan and I, you get guys like if you, there's still time. Like if you did like a petition, you guys, like if you just maybe wanted to, try to get us in, because there's still time to get us in the Minecraft movie. Jason Momoa, more like Jason Mimosas. I'd rather have a couple mimosas after watching anything he's in.
Yeah, because he's Aquaman. He was this centaur creature in some Netflix film, I think. What else is he? What else?
I have no idea.
He
But
is.
there's still time to get us in the movie. That's all I'm saying.
He looks like someone they would get in like some shitty alternate universe to play Jack Sparrow in like the new and improved. That's what I feel like they're gonna like. The next Jack Sparrow is gonna be like some Dwayne the Rock, you know, like
Dwayne the Rock as Jack Sparrow would be kind of awesome. You know,
it's a jar of dirt.
he does his laugh rock. He looks at the
Yeah.
camera, kind of gives that little one eyebrow raise. That would be fucking awesome, dude.
And can someone tell me why is all the rum gone?
I could see it now.
You
I
know?
could see it now.
It's perfect.
But instead of like the typical Jack Sparrow get up, they do the kind of pirate thing where it's like he's the strong man.
He'd be
with like
shirtless.
Yeah, he'd be shirtless and maybe he'd still be bald and he would just have an eye patch.
Yeah.
Maybe some pirate tattoos.
There'd
know?
be plenty of jokes. In fact, it would be a running joke that he has a big penis.
A big sword.
Like, I don't know, they go to Tortuga and like he sees like the girls, but they're all like scared of him because of how fucking massive his penis
Do you think
is.
Disney would write that into the next Pirates movie?
Yeah, they'll put it in the ride too. When you're on that fucking boat with the beautiful smelling water
God, it smells good.
going by, like, damn, I need to fuck someone. Dwayne the Rock says in his pirate voice.
When's Dwayne gonna get like a nice, mature, serious role? You know,
What?
like
Rampage?
no, I want him to do some art house shit.
Fast and Furious?
No, I want him to do some.
Hobbs
like-
and Shaw was a spinoff, which is as close to an independent film as these actors are going to get.
I want like an A24 movie where The Rock's the main character, but maybe he plays like I don't know, like
Live action Moana?
is he in live action Moana?
Yeah, he's going to play his character in the live action Moana.
It works pretty well.
I think it's ridiculous because Disney live
It's
action.
so dumb.
They are one of the biggest goddamn studios, if not the biggest, right? They make so much fucking money, and all of their movies look like absolute fucking garbage. It's awful. It pulls you right out of it. It looks so bad. Have you seen this, like, The Little Mermaid, like in the CG and
Nobody
everything,
wants
and
the hyper realistic shit.
No.
It doesn't make sense. It takes all the charm away from it because, like, I don't get it. Why can't they make it cartoony and then put it in with real life? Like, if they made the fish and stuff look like Pixar fish, but then just mixed them with the real life with the same lighting and stuff, it would look awesome. Like, people, it would be charming. But to give it, it's just a fucking crab. It's just a crab. Like, there's nothing charming about it.
Or just remake the movie in a different type of animation style and like switch up the the casting and stuff that way. I don't, or maybe just don't fucking remake it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Know.
You don't have to remake all these classics as
Like,
live action.
The perfect example is like Pinocchio, right? It's like a story as old as time, but it can be told in several different ways. The first time Disney told like its story, right? It had a certain look and atmosphere and blah, 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 blah. Then you see Guillermo del Toro's, and he took his own interpretation and made his own story out of it using the same characters and setup and story beats. And like with that, they also made a live action Pinocchio movie, Disney did. And it's like, yeah, of course people aren't going to like it because it's one, just out of its time. Like it's not of that era. I don't think kids are going to enjoy it the same.
No.
Especially when it's taken down a few pegs when it comes to like the quality. Animation, regardless of how old it is, it's still beautiful. Like, I guess objectively, but it's still like looks gorgeous.
Back then it's hand drawn.
Yeah.
And like you can feel the passion in it. Like the first Little Mermaid movie, like that animation is amazing.
But here they probably get a rush job from a bunch of like interns or just animators over in Canada or something like that, somewhere cheap. And maybe if it's actually done in studio on like a decent time and everyone's happy, I would be fucking surprised. But the only way for me it can like look this bad is if it's just a rush job and they're not giving like the people enough time. Even then, it's deeper than that because as you stated, it's down to the character design.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not just like it's not the animator's faults or it's not like I don't even think it's on the rush job aspect. I think it's on the creative direction.
I was saying like the studio is forcing those deadlines.
I think it's the creative direction. Like they sat down and they're like, okay, so this charming animated crab is now just going to be a hyper realistic crab. Crabs are probably one of the least appealing, friendly looking creatures on the planet.
And Sebastian's wonderful.
I know. He's cute, he's charming, he's fun, he's charismatic, but like an actual crab. There's nothing charismatic about it. There's nothing charming about a crab.
Flounder, I think, is one of the worst.
Oh, it's just a fucking ugly fish. Fish are also one of the most unappealing creatures on the planet. Like, they just look bad. Like there's nothing charismatic or charming about the way a real fish looks. That's why in a cartoon it works, because they made it cute and fun.
They made him big and fat.
And a goofy face, and it's exaggerated.
With a pudgy nose.
No, but then when you go to a real fish, it loses all of that charm. And I don't get why, like, one of the biggest corporations in the world, the biggest entertainment corporation in the world, can't see that.
I think it's like they don't. It's like this movie is no one's passion. It's Disney. It's just
recycling an IP.
It's it's like while a lot of like Marvel can try to mask it and stuff with personality and charisma and stuff like that. These movies, it's really hard to mask the disingenuousness of it, because there's no directors really attached that I feel like this is their passion project. They were asked to make it. And like no one, like I feel like it's a script that was asked of someone instead of a script that someone had lying around and were passionate about. It's just really a business decision. And at the end of the day, when something is so blatantly, all it is like a 2-hour fucking commercial for Disney. It's like, why do I want to see this? I'm just going to go watch the animated version back home and get that nostalgia rush.
Get some giggles. I thought I remembered this, and I looked it up, and it said that Disney's making live-action versions of all their classic animated movies to maintain copyrights, because all of Disney's animated films are based off other previously released books and or films. So they make them while they currently control the IP. So they remake them to maintain control of the IP every few decades.
That's why they made that shitty Lady and the Tramp live action shit and put it on like Disney Plus. I don't understand why they just don't take this trash and just throw it on Disney Plus. That's where it kind of belongs, like with the Little Mermaid 2. Yeah. Lion King 2 is fire. I love the Lion King 2. A lot of fun songs. Lion King 1.5 was a treat as a kid. I don't know how it is as an adult.
It's also weird that they got Jon Favreau to do the Lion King live-action remake.
Yeah, but like the thing is, for Disney, he was, they had their differences with the whole Iron Man stuff. There was like a lot of push and pull, Iron Man 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And 3, he didn't direct 3. That was Shane Black, who, Shane Black directed The Good Guys, the Ryan Gosling.
Oh, yeah.
And directed, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Robert Downey Jr. and I don't know. But regardless, Jon Favreau has a checkered past with Disney with that whole shit. So they bring him back. And the thing is, in interviews, if you watch him, he himself seems very excited about the documentary style of realistic lions and animals. It's like it's a documentary. It's like look at that fur. Look how real that fur looks. It's more like, it seems like an obsession. Like James Cameron was obsessed with the technical advantages he had with by producing certain technology for the first time to be used on a film.
Sure.
And I'm sure that's exciting, but he at least channeled that into creating a world and story, where Favreau just like did it as an aesthetic, which seems very just cheap and lame.
One thing I'll say is
I think an apt description.
Yeah, doing the live action Lion King and making it hyper realistic. At least what they have on their side is that like a lion cub is like the real thing is cute, and you want to look at it.
His face has no expression,
but a fish is not cute. A crab is not cute. So it's like it I could see how, it would make more sense to do the hyper-realistic shit for the Lion King remake. It's like, it's a lion cub.
But
That's
they can
at
still
least cute.
stylize it. You've seen the shit where people go and Photoshop and kind of like I think what would have been perfect was hyper realistic environments and like fur, but like just stylized slightly. Because then I feel like that introduces like the imagination that, I don't know, if I'm a kid, it's cool to see these things brought to real life, but there's, you know, the nostalgia speaking probably, but there's just something about like animation where it whatever CGI does is trying to replace in what they did with animation in those films back then. They just can't do because it comes off as cheap. And maybe, you know, kids don't recognize that. It's just loud noises and fish, and they probably love it. But I can't imagine people having a deep nostalgia and going back and still liking the films that still many adults love Disney films to this day. Going back, like there's people who are like, Little Mermaid is still my favorite movie.
Right.
I don't think anyone's favorite movie is the live action Lion King. Maybe I'd be surprised, but I couldn't imagine that person's outlook, I guess.
Like on life?
I mean, I guess I'm being a little an asshole about it.
You are, because actually, Ryan, it is my favorite movie. So we're going to ads now. We're going to ads. You just pissed me off. I have to piss.
Okay, go piss.
Dude, check it out.
Go piss.
Okay.
Actually cut it there, Luke.
Hey! Luke, do not cut it there. Cut it when I first said... Whether you're searching for the latest sneaker drop, that iconic handbag, a timeless watch, or your next piece of classic jewelry, eBay Authenticators are there verifying every detail of your purchase. Yup, we're talking every inch, stitch, tick, facet, and clasp that make the piece you're searching for worthy of your collection. eBay's Authenticators are experts in their craft, true connoisseurs. And as leaders in their fields, they're making sure your items always arrive as authentic as your style. So go ahead, get that piece you've always wanted, and leave it up to the meticulous eyes of an eBay Authenticator to make sure that watch movement is original, that glimmer is real gold, that rare sneaker is legit, or that handbag is really made of genuine leather and never get faked over again. In a world full of fakes, it's time to get real with eBay Authenticity Guarantee, because everyone deserves real. Visit ebay.com for terms. I'm just saying, backwards maybe?
Yeah. No, yes.
I don't know, I'm translated. Do you think the backwards looks good?
I think it's the same hat, but wearing it in a different way makes it feel fresh. You know, is that what you're going for? Do you want to feel fresh?
No, I do want to feel fresh.
Like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I don't know, but I don't want to like bring attention to the fact that I switched it around.
Speaking of Will Smith.
What about him?
Will Smith. Jim said he would be here. Jim said...
Was that the surprise guest he was talking about?
Yeah, and that's... Maybe we both have... Will Smith! I guess he just didn't show.
No way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's still more podcasts. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe Will Smith. Maybe if y'all stick around and listen to the whole podcast, Will Smith might show up by the end.
Who knows? Will Smith might appear. That's really cool. I didn't know he was coming today.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably fashionably late,
Hat.
like all famous people.
Well, speaking of fashionable, hat, forward or backwards for when
think
he's here.
backwards.
You think backwards is cooler?
Yeah,
We're talking about the Fresh Prince here, man.
Next ad break, we'll have another discussion and we'll
Okay.
finalize how I think. I have an idea, but we'll talk about it in between.
Okay.
This is big.
What's big?
This idea that I have
Yeah, what's your big idea?
for your hat, but as I said,
it's for the hat? Okay.
we'll do it in the in betweens.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it, but also I don't necessarily want Luke to keep all this in because I don't want it to look like if people know I'm thinking this much about the hat, then it takes away any
course.
cool,
Yeah.
like the hat has
No,
to
I
be
get it.
nonchalant. So just Luke, you know what to do. Anyway, yeah, so what's new, Scooby-Doo?
Well, how about you? You were on a movie kick. I said I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Did you see anything new?
Yeah, I've just been watching like all the old Pixar movies. I watched Monsters, incredible. I'm sorry, Monsters. I watched Monsters Inc. Monsters Incorporated.
Have you seen Monsters University?
I have, yeah.
What did you think of it? I've only seen it once.
Well, I watched it right before I actually went off to college, so I watched it in 2013. I liked it. I mean, it was. I thought it was a fun sequel, prequel, I guess.
It wasn't offensive. You know?
No. Well, I'd hope not. You know, Pixar tends to not do inappropriate stuff, but well, there was that one offensive scene.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, them portraying indigenous. Don't need to get into it, but weird choice on Pixar's part to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was like a fun, you know, would I rewatch it? Not necessarily, but
Monsters Inc. holds up.
Monsters Inc. does hold up, yeah.
Look, it's interesting going back because as much as in my head I'm like, The Incredibles, you know, as long as these Pixar films, you know, they're gonna hold up, and they do, but you really do see the age. There really was this sense of when we were younger, like this is the peak of animation. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what Pixar was. That's who you went to, and it's like, okay, whose technology is the best? It's always been Pixar.
Well, Bugs Life was the big one that when I watched Bugs Life, I was like, oh man, like this
yeah,
does
I
not
like
look
Bugs
as good as
Life.
it. Oh, it's a great movie, but it's like the animation. It is crazy because when you and I were kids in the like early 2000s, because when I first saw that movie, when did that one come out? I think that came out in 1997.
Yeah.
I saw it because it came with my family computer on a DVD.
I had a VHS and the outlining was white on it.
Mm-hmm. But my dad's, like, our first family computer came with that. It was one of the old Macs.
It came with Bugs Life.
Mm-hmm. Just came with Bugs Life for some reason, which I thought was cool. On like a silver disc, just a silver plain disc. And back then, though, like when you're 5 years old and you watch that movie for the first time, it's like animation can't get better than that. And then you watch it back now and you're like, wow, it's not bad. It's just like,
It kind of turns me back into the conversation we were having about like kids going to see these new live action films. Like I'm talking about like, oh, the anime, like they don't give a shit. Like to them, these live action films are still probably, they love them. They love them.
Pixar what they could not get right was humans. Like when I rewatch these old movies,
Yeah.
people look terrifying. They look horrifying.
Toy Story 1,
Yeah.
specifically too. I feel like, you know, they had to develop styles when they centered more around people. Like Up had a very strong, it was very strongly stylized.
They
in terms
figured
of
it out.
Character design. The Incredibles was its own thing. It was kind of like blending realistic with just kind of like absurd proportions.
But even Monsters Inc., which I just watched, which by the way,
oh, how did Boo hold up?
she's all right. It was mainly like the kids that they're scaring look terrifying. Like, but also that movie in my
One of
head,
them's a robot.
yes, and it did look very scary. But honestly, one of I for some reason didn't remember that movie coming out the year it came out. It came out way longer, way more long ago than I thought it did.
2003?
2001.
Oh, shit.
I know.
That was Pixar's 9/11?
That was Pixar's 9/11 with Monsters Inc. But for some reason in my head, that came out way later than 2001. But you know, I rewatched WALL-E as well, and
I still need to rewatch.
WALL-E's my
WALL-E.
favorite Pixar movie.
I remember
Love WALL-E.
I went to go see it with my youth group, and for some reason I just didn't like it at the time. And the only thing that made me laugh, and I was like, you know what, this made me laugh. I told my youth pastor, it was when all the fat people were rolling because the ship
Yeah.
tipped.
You know what's
I was
funny? I watched
you know.
WALL-E and Titanic in the same day, and they both have a scene where just people rolling down a deck.
Yep.
But what I like about WALL-E is, I mean, it was such kind of a weird like step for Pixar because they had not done, you know, they did like all this cute stuff, animals and all this, and all of a sudden they did this like post-apocalyptic dystopian thing where it's like trash and nastiness.
And most of it is a Tom and Jerry aspect in terms of like the dialogue is at a minimum for the protagonist. You know,
Yeah, I like
while
that.
it, you know, it doesn't really say much.
And I also loved, it's so weird how when they show like videos from like this time period, they just use real footage of people. So like the president is Fred Willard, and it's just actual footage of Fred Willard.
R.I.P. Fred Willard was
R.I.P.
a comedic legend.
He was a comedic legend, and it's so weird seeing in Wall-E he's the president, and he's like, we got to get the heck out of here. And they used real footage. I thought that was fun.
So are you going in order, or are you just kind of picking and choosing?
Just picking and choosing. I still got to watch Incredibles.
So you saw Bug's Life, you saw Monsters, Inc. Are those the only two so far?
No, I watched Wall-E. I watched Finding Nemo.
Wall-E. Finding Nemo. I think Finding Nemo is, if you watch Finding Dory, you see the technical advances they made are really good. But still, I like the ocean shit holds up.
It
like
looks
the scenery
so good
and everything.
It looks amazing.
That was a big one. I think the second one they bragged about the octopus tentacles and how they animated them, and in the first one it was just like getting the ocean right.
It looks great, and that came out in 2003. So I do remember I saw that. I remember seeing that in theaters.
I remember just being scared whenever a big whale, even the whale in the distance. I was like,
oh yeah. Looks like you might have yeah. Are you subscribed to r/thalassophobia, dude?
No, and it's interesting. I go on there every now and then just to be like, damn, that is creepy.
What gets me more is r/submechanophobia. It's just big. It's like
big animatronics.
It's big machines underwater, or like big man-made stuff underwater. That's freaky to me. Like
James and the Giant Peach with that like mechanical shark that attaches.
Yeah.
Like that's why that was so horrifying as a kid.
It's just shit like the up close of like cruise ship propellers from underwater and how big they are. It's like terrifying. I don't know why. I mean, well, it's just because it could just kill you just instantly.
Watch James and the Giant Peach as a kid?
I love that movie.
Okay.
James and the Giant Peach. Love it.
I probably
love it.
I probably saw it like 2 years ago. It hasn't been, I watch it every now and then. It still holds up.
Makes me hungry, man.
Incredible. It's almost one of those films that I would love to just have on and fall asleep to. It's just so warming.
I always wanted to eat those fucking little glowing green worms.
I'm not scared of you anymore, you stupid wino.
And it stops, yeah. He goes to the Empire frickin' State Building in that movie.
He does.
And
he's saved by the Child Protective Services, I guess, ultimately.
CPS comes and saves him. Yeah. It's a great movie. It made me so hungry. The part where they're like inside the peach and they're eating it and they're like serving up it as a drink and all that shit.
Or like you said, like the special little wish worms the guy gives them that are glowing, that are in that bag, and one hops out and goes into the peach because he didn't catch it. Those I was like, I want to eat.
I want to eat those little, they look like pasta. It looks like
I know,
radioactive pasta.
I'm like,
I could eat those things,
Little gummy pasta.
I really fuck with radiation. A lot, yeah. I kind of play with it in my free time when I get home.
Do you still have that vial of uranium?
We do. It's in the other room.
Uranium bombs. Okay. Something was clicking in my head. It was an episode of SpongeBob.
Yes,
is for
F is
friend,
for, yep. U is for uranium bombs. That's a classic SpongeBob moment. Dude, I saw a recent SpongeBob clip, and they draw him different now, man. Like,
yeah,
his nose is shorter,
he's
like
smoother.
He's smoother, and he's too cleaned up, dude. They made him too clean.
For all these leftist whack jobs out there. What did they do to SpongeBob? Let me guess. They gave him purple hair.
They did. He has purple hair now. I don't know if you've watched the new SpongeBob episodes. You didn't even the burp didn't look like it came out of your mouth. It looked like it was an added-in sound effect because it was so casual.
Well, it wasn't. I just, I'm that talented.
You are pretty talented when it comes to the flatulence and belching. You could honestly, dude, if you tapped into the fart fetish community, you could make crazy damage, dude.
Mundo coin.
Yeah, dude, you could make freaking mucho dinero. Okay, I'm serious, man. You could fucking sell those fart videos online.
I just noticed.
What?
And it only matters for the visual aspect.
What?
But my little display is cut off.
Oh my God, you made it this whole display and now it's just... Should we move it?
I mean, the audio listeners are going to be upset because I'm fixing something that benefits the viewing aesthetic of, watching. I don't know. I feel like if I help the visual viewers out, Am I choosing a side? Are the people who only listen audio-wise gonna lash out and attack me?
They will, Ryan. But if you don't fix the visual side, then the visual viewers will lash out at you.
Maybe it's one of those things like, it's
the trolley dilemma.
There's 13 babies on a railway. And then there's, let's say, 14 babies on another one. Do I pull the lever and save that one baby?
Yeah.
Switch it up, actually, and then say what I said again, You know what I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying?
The way you phrased it would be if you pull the lever, you'd kill more babies.
I know. That's why I said you have to switch it.
This is the old trolley dilemma here.
Do you kill 14 babies? Or do you...
Well, Ryan, let's be real. If we're talking about the podcast listeners, yeah, we're talking about 14 babies.
The mixture of my genuine laugh and your narcissistic, pathetic display of emotion.
Oh, I love being evil,
So should I? Am I taking that action and killing the 14 babies if I move this? I'm already talking about it in the audio listener. For the audio listeners, I made a beautiful setup that contains a foliage, our book, our brand, and a candle, all made into like a little hey, look at this display.
When I walked in the room, I went, ooh,
yeah,
damn.
So did Luke.
It looks
Luke said
really
he was
nice.
proud of
Luke
it.
walked in and said, that's a nice little setup you've got there.
And you can only see the top of it on the visual. I've derailed the pod.
I just made a conscious effort to pick our book up.
Are we gonna choose a random passage to read again, you and me both?
Why not? The book is still. You can still get it.
How long has it been since?
It's been a minute, dude.
And we're still selling hard copies and soft copies.
Hardcovers are sold out, but
damn.
paperback is online, and you can get the audiobook narrated by Gino Samuel.
And can people also buy the Lionsgate Studios produced film made from our book?
Yes, they can. Yes,
Where can they do that? Wait. We got a cease and desist, but because they said that we couldn't use their logo.
Who cares? I mean, it's just a logo.
So I'm not sure if that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think it technically released because.
Well, we released it to the public online, and we sold it at a couple garage sales and shit. And they're pissed that we put their logo on it, but I mean, they should be flattered that we put their name and logo on it.
It seems like the most safe studio to kind of fly under, Anyway, sorry, Matt. Matt is about to pick a passage from the novel we wrote, titled "Super Mega Saves the Troops." He's choosing one. It seems he's not getting one at random. Seems like he's not letting fate decide.
A lot of people say, "Hey, well, is it a real book?" It
is.
Well, I mean, first of all, take a look at that. That's pretty thick. Audio listeners, take a listen to this. And that was only about half of it. So it's a real book.
Someone at Ren Fair who recently started reading the book.
Yeah, shout out to that.
Finished it yet.
That viewer who we ran into at Ren Fair that hasn't finished yet. I hope that you enjoy the ending. Here, here's just a random one I found.
Okay.
Ryan popped off a little toot in the Japanese man's face as he climbed out. Ryan hoped no one would notice, but boy, was it stinky.
We were in Japan,
Yeah.
So it's not like I picked him out of a crowd purposely.
Targeted him for his ethnicity.
We were just in Japan. Shall I pick a random one?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Now I'm actually gonna be random. LOL.
Yeah?
LMFAO.
Limfao?
Limfao.
People say Lamau, but they never say Limfao.
Raffle. Watch this.
Yeah. I was going to say, what if it's a bad passage? But guess what? There are no bad passages or bad sentences in the whole book.
Go, 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 Matt hollered as bullets began flying over their heads. The gondola was off, and the boys were out of there. The school of brutish Italians quickly piled into another nearby gondola and lickety-split, they were on their way down the canal to shoot some good boys, good and dead.
Yeah, I mean, that's
How did we get in this particular predicament, you know?
How do we get in that particular predicament?
How did we? You'll have to read and find out.
After these ads.
During the prime spring season, you need wholesome, convenient meals to energize you for warmer, more active days and keep you on track reaching your goals. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and tackle everything on your to-do list. You need an extra boost of energy to support your wellness goals this spring? Well, try Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. With 34 plus chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options, there's always something new to try. Plus, you can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 45 plus add-ons, including breakfast items like their delicious apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, and potato bacon and egg breakfast skillet. Or, for an easy wellness boost, try refreshing beverage options like cold-pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. With Factor, you can rest assured you're making a sustainable choice. Factor's great. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I get some protein, some of the protein meals. Give me some extra protein because I'm trying to like sustain / build a bit of my muscle. So, that helps a lot. And these yummy protein meals are peak delicioso. Head to factormeals.com/supermega50 and use code supermega50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code supermega50 at factormeals.com/supermega50 to get 50% off your first box. Yippee yippee!
This episode of Super Mega Cast is brought to you by BetterHelp. How much time do you spend a week on yourself versus how much time do you spend on other people? Pleasing other people, making them happy. How much time do you actually spend focused on yourself? Well, it might not be that much. It's easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you and never take a moment to think about what you need from yourself. If you ignore what you need from yourself, you're not going to be able to make anyone else happy. And when we spend all of our time giving, it can leave us feeling stretched thin and burned out. I know about this. I've been there many times. What's helped me with that is therapy. Going to a therapist, talking about, my emotions, my feelings, why I feel certain ways I do. It's an incredibly helpful thing, and it gives you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. Like I said, I go to therapy, and it's one of the best things I've ever done. It helps me understand myself better, which is probably the best thing you can do for yourself. That's where BetterHelp comes in. They're giving everybody access to therapy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime you need to for no additional charge. Find more balance with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/supermega to get 10% off your first month. That's right. Go today to BetterHelp, HELP.com/supermega.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you. Remember earlier when I was saying, hey, there's a new style. You heard Matt put it on normal ways, which is facing forward. Then he turned it around and it was a backwards, goofy Jacksepticeye leather daddy hat. And now, I mentioned a style that I wanted him to wear. I had an idea. Well, the visual listeners already see it, but to you audio listeners, it's sideways now. Not front facing, not backwards, but sideways.
I had no idea.
Sidewards.
It's sideways. I honestly had no clue when you said you had a big idea. I didn't know what could be done. And this is great. This is really a fantastic style.
How's it feel?
Actually feels like, technically, it feels like it's fitting my head the best this way. It looks cool, too. Like, this actually is probably like the sickest way to wear this hat.
I know.
That was why it was such a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you, buddy.
If you saw Bruddy?
Yeah.
I like that, though. It's like brother and buddy. Bruddy.
It wasn't intentional, believe it or not.
Hey, man, sometimes happy little accidents,
I meant to go brother, but it just came out.
It came out as Bruddy. I like Bruddy. I think Bruddy is a good it's a good slang term that you've just coined. And
well, we have to make sure that no other we have to make sure the whites have it 100 on this one, because we've been known to stake claim on things before
Yeah.
that weren't originally ours.
Accidentally. Just make sure you point that out. You know, it's like,
Well,
this new
you
slang
sail
word.
for thousands of miles. You think you're gonna be, not just down the. I don't know.
You'd think that, no one has claimed this yet.
I wasn't there. So who's to say?
Exactly. You know who was there? Was Adam and Eve. And Jesus Christ as well.
Christopher Columbus landed.
Yeah, they're from Missouri.
That is true. Well, no, Jesus was real. It's just like this new wave. Of,
Jesus went to America.
but he wasn't the last. But he was. They're saying a new prophet came about. That wasn't the Son of God. That was just like God had new things to say.
And one of the things he had to say was that
Wait.
Jesus came to America.
Oh my, that's right.
Because the originally Native Americans were white, and the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri. That's what Mormons believe. My favorite aspect of and at Mormons, no disrespect here, if it's your faith, it's your faith. I just think my favorite aspect.
Hold on.
What?
Before you say that, you say no disrespect, but usually that typically is followed up
Well, it's more
with
so
disrespect.
It's more so just what I'm about to say. I don't. It's
Like he's like, pardon my French, but it's one of those.
okay, yeah. But when someone says "pardon my French," they almost never speak French after that.
No, unless some of these curses derived from no. That would
Maybe
be
bastard.
Yeah.
Bastard. That sounds French. But
Bastard.
anyway, my favorite thing of the Mormon belief is like Joseph Smith was given the an
Farquad.
Farquad.
Farquad. See, sorry, go on.
Is that the joke?
I think so. Yes.
Oh, that's great. But basically, Joseph Smith he found the gold plates that was the New Testament of Jesus Christ, and he had the 2 seer stones that he had to put them into a hat and then look inside the hat, the dark hat, so the letters would light up and he could translate it to English. But my favorite thing was
He had to retranslate everything.
because the guy that transcribed it told his wife, and his wife was like, "How do you know he's not lying?" He's like, "No, he's telling the truth." And she's like, "Okay, then I'm gonna hide this, and if he is telling the truth, he'll be able to just retranslate it again."
And he did.
And he
just
goes
with a lot
back.
of differences.
And then he's like, "No, God is furious now that you've lost these papers. So now it's going to be a different version because he's so pissed." And then it was a different version. And everyone's like, "Yeah, makes sense to me." Very funny.
They ran him out of town, though, didn't they?
Joseph Smith?
Yeah.
I don't know if they ran him out of town. They better not have. He was a good boy.
Okay. Good.
How many religious, nowadays, if someone claims to be religious, no one will ever take it seriously. But back then, for some reason, it was taken more seriously and it blew up so big.
I think it's still taken pretty seriously, especially in terms of politics, because religion controls a lot of political outreach in a lot of different countries.
No, I mean claims to be religious in sense of being a prophet.
Oh, yeah.
Where back then it seemed like it was common, and then they were a prophet, and still,
If you're a prophet now, people are going to roll their eyes and go, whack job,
yeah.
Which that's what people said about Jesus, by the way. Just want to make that clear.
You ever think maybe Jesus was just like an illusionist, like not David Beckham, David Spade, David, what's his name?
I think it wasn't
Chris Angel.
I think Jesus was an unfortunate man that spouted some stuff and then got mercilessly, brutally killed and tortured because he was mentally unwell.
I think
I think they just did that to a mentally unwell guy who
Yeah.
had a lot of friends who liked him.
he got pretty popular.
One friend who didn't like him, apparently.
Are you talking about Judas or Pontius Pilate?
No. I'm talking about, pardon my French, Judas.
The guy he kissed on the lips?
The guy,
He
yeah.
betrayed him and then he kissed him on the lips.
He did. He kissed him right on the lips. Yeah, he did.
You tell me one of the last things Christ did before he died was kiss a man on the lips?
Who should know what the I mean, some of the Bible are supposed recounts of the retelling of the story, or direct recount. Some of them.
I mean,
like
back then,
Peter.
stories were just retelling. They were just retold because there was no actual record, right?
No, especially since it was transcribed.
I mean,
from the
Jesus
original
existed.
Hebrew, yeah.
like Jesus existed. I don't think a lot of people, some people try to say he didn't, but it's obviously existed because it's like there are records of him existing.
Yeah.
You know, like kings talking about him and, you know, stuff like that. But what if he was just a guy that was just trying to make the world a little brighter?
Or maybe he was just an abusive cult leader.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, it is kind of crazy to think about what if, you know, he was just a crazy guy suffering from, like, ideas, illusions of grandeur and people, and he got enough of a following. And then that is crazy, though, that it stuck around, that he had that much cultural impact.
People followed him because of the greed of the empire at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Are there allegories for Jesus Christ in Star Wars?
Maybe, but I mean, I think because it's based off of the original hero's journey, which has a lot of symbolism with like God and Christianity and stuff
So
like that.
technically Star Wars took place before Jesus Christ, didn't it?
Yes.
Wouldn't it have?
Yeah.
In a galaxy long, long ago?
Yes. But what I was saying was that it's because he preached a message of to the downtrodden people. You know, he was for the common man.
And the big guys up top didn't like that.
No.
Jesus' actual, like, the message he preached, not a bad message, you know?
No. You know,
it was to take in the sick and the hungry, and
we are talking about a civilization who put it into law to go into the homes and slaughter the firstborn child.
hey, man, just because you don't get it doesn't mean that you have to be sitting over here and shitting on it,
You're right, man.
you know?
You right.
You know?
Yeah.
Where's
Pharaoh? Oh, baby, let my people go. Yeah.
We got to do, just honestly, man, why have we not done a full Christian cover album of all the classics?
Because we're a bunch of doofuses. We're a couple of doofuses.
Yeah. We are a couple of doofuses, man.
And I don't understand it.
Oh, I started watching, I watched the first episode and a half of Righteous Gemstones. The Danny McBride, John Goodman show.
Okay, yes. Also,
It's shot in Charleston.
oh, who's that dude from Workaholics?
Adam,
Adam
Devine.
Devine, yes.
uh,
He's in it as well.
he is. Very funny. But it's, you know, it's shot in Charleston. That's why I watched it. And, you know, this show starts with "Our God is an awesome God." That's like the first scene.
Really?
They're over in China baptizing people, and they're singing that song in Chinese. And it's a really funny show. I really like it. And you know what's crazy? In the first episode, they go to a restaurant, and it's the restaurant that was across the street from the Chick-fil-A I worked at. And I saw it, and I did the Leonardo DiCaprio.
Were you having like a little mixed bevy?
They also, the mega church, I had a mixed bevy, and I went, the mega church where they film, it's where my high school graduation was. I graduated high school in that room.
You went to a mega church?
No, they shoot it in the Coliseum.
Oh, okay.
The Charleston.
Because you went to a classic, just like steepled church, right?
I went to a contemporary church.
Was it a square building or did it have a steeple?
There was an old church that was attached to it, but they had an old church service for the old people that was like the organs. And then I went to the fucking rock and roll for Jesus Christ type service.
God is epic.
How great is our God? They had the fucking drums and
Sing with me, how great
so
is
good,
our
dude.
God.
You ever think about you and I could repent and
Yeah, we could, but you know,
no,
what's the
but-
fun in that? We're still in our 20s, man.
I just
We have a
thought-
lot of time for repentance.
No. But I just thought of a business plan, Ryan, for us. That might be the best business plan.
Super mega purity rings. No. No. Okay, sorry. Wrong
that
track.
that is an add-on that will make even more money. Listen to this.
Okay.
We repent, right? We give up this lifestyle of being inappropriate, immature YouTubers. We come back to God, and then we make a living going around speaking to Christian youth, giving seminars and sermons at big church events about how we gave up that lifestyle and found our way back to God. And the kids will want to see us because they'll go, "Oh, those are YouTubers. They knew
I used to
PewDiePie."
smoke weed every day.
It's always that type of shit. It's never like, I was shooting up heroin for 8 years. It's like, I smoked weed. I was in college and I would smoke weed every single day.
And I liked it. And that's the danger of it. The devil doesn't give you things you hate. It would be too easy. You'd hate him. It would be simple. He tricks you. It's the things that you love that he'll work his way into.
We should honestly rent like
your parents. Like your parents. You can't trust your parents. You can only trust God.
Don't trust your parents. Only trust God.
Only trust God. Not your parents. God is the ultimate, all-powerful, all-knowing.
We're talking to you, Lucas.
Lucas,
we're talking to you. Don't trust your parents.
Don't trust your parents, whatever they do. You can trust them for now, but just remember, God's number one, baby. God will always be number one. Your parents.
One day we're gonna randomly pick the wrong name to do that joke about.
I know.
And we're gonna. Some kid is gonna have a mental breakdown because of that. No, but we should honestly rent a church one day, like a big auditorium, fill it with like youth and like
Bowling
parents.
balls. Sorry.
What? Why? What? Wait, no. That's a better idea than what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's it. Fill it to the brim with bowling balls. I show up to shoot thinking that there's gonna be like youth there, like extras, and there's trucks loading bowling balls in. Ryan, what do you do? What? Where's the extras? Dude, I thought we were doing the bowling ball thing. What? We should honestly shoot, like, get the cameras, the whole like broadcast setup, and shoot like an hour-long fake sermon that we give as ex-YouTubers to the youth about repentance.
We've kind of done that, but this would be a step up from it. We did the Christmas special, which was fun.
In my mind, that's an S tier video. I saw some megheads went and they made a tier list
where is this?
of our
Where
live action
can I find
videos.
this? I need to stroke my ego a little bit.
I saw it on Twitter, and people were making different versions of the live action like tier list.
Ooh. Were
And-
they tagging us in it?
Uh-huh.
Like the Super Mega?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I agreed with some, I disagree with some, but I think the Christmas Eve sermon is S tier. A lot of people disagree with that, but I think it's a fun one.
Well,
It was all improv.
in terms of, I like our live action stuff that we produce. I'm excited to produce more of it.
Me too.
But I just think that if people were to somehow, I don't know, come into contact or possession of or sight of like $5, it would be able to afford them a lot of extra bonus content from a certain set of YouTubers, couple of YouTubers like us. Like where they could go to a site called Patreon, pay this $5, get extra bonus features like a new movie watching the show, Uncle Sleepover. They could watch an extended version of this
Uncle
podcast,
Sleepover.
for example, as well. Well, it's its own after show.
Wait, you're telling me that every episode of the podcast that we release has a fully additional exclusive segment?
Only if someone were to have possession of $5,
But $5, I mean, what? $5 a day is expensive, Ryan.
Yeah, it gets
$5 a day.
Of course, but then you weigh it yourself. You go, is this a practical decision? Is this something I can afford? And then if it's no, that's all fine. We still love you here.
$5 a day.
But if they do find it worth it, they'll get a ton of epic, awesome extra content that you can only get for $5 a month.
A month.
Did I say day?
I was saying day, so you go, no, it's not $5 a day.
sorry, no.
It's actually only
$5 a month.
$5 a month. Or you can also sign up for a full year in advance, which is cheaper than buying a hoodie.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like
It's cheaper than a video game.
a certain after show is about to be recorded, which means that, unfortunately,
There's all sorts of fun stuff over on that freaking Patreon page.
yeah.
There's two Q&As this month.
And we'll be back again with the same podcast next week, as well as, who knows what else is going to be uploaded in that time.
Who freaking knows? We've got some fun live action in the works.
Let's, but
we shot a really crazy video.
it's just going to take a while to edit because we're just, I don't want to share too much about the video, but it is a intensive edit. Tucker's in the process of organizing and cutting everything to make it cohesive, so we can go in and add the narrative.
Here's what I'll say
and stuff.
Here's what I'll add, because people might be like, "Oh, you guys are just lazy." Intensive edit. There's 30 different camera angles. Over 30 different camera angles.
Yes,
30 different cameras were used.
It's not anytime soon. This video is coming. We're thinking. I actually don't want to make any promises.
No promises.
But it's not gonna be a month.
We're working hard on it.
Yeah.
And just because of the fact that there are over 30 cameras used simultaneously filming. It's a lot to go through.
Yes.
So, and then not just going through it, but having to cut it up to tell a story.
And we just recently uploaded. We've been sitting on the footage for a while. I think after Creator Clash, just that whole year in general, we were just kind of feeling like we just sat on the footage for a long time, and we both lost our masculinity and our respect from all of our loved ones and our parents when we lost our fights. So it took a lot of time to earn. One, our masculinity back, and the trust of our peers, friends, and family members / loved ones.
Well, Ryan, if I'm being honest, when you lose a boxing match, especially one that's of this nature, where it's friends boxing each other, and it's like YouTubers boxing, if you lose that, you lose your masculinity, and you lose
your sense of integrity. Personal
respect.
Self-worth is down
forever. It never comes back. You don't come back from that.
In your eyes and the eyes of everyone around you that saw that despicable act. But anyways, I guess what I'm saying is it takes time. It takes time, and we rebuilt those connections and roads, and now, we were able to put our egos aside and put our guilt and our shame away, throw it away in the trash, and Tucker put together, Justin cobbled it, and Tucker went in, and there's a lot of like mechanical work done by the two, and I think it turned out great.
Yeah, we have a great documentary out now that chronicles the lead up and the behind the scenes and our fights and the commentary over our fights, as well as what happened a year later.
Yes.
So that is out now on our channel. It's called Super Mega Loses Creator Clash 2022. It's about a 35-minute documentary. Really, really good stuff. Unfortunately, though, as good of a documentary as it is, it does not bring back my dignity, my masculinity. I was emasculated from that, and I've lost the respect of loved ones. I've lost the respect of everyone in the industry. I lost the respect of you. And, I can try to joke it off.
It sounds like there's a chip on your shoulder about it.
Well, the thing is, I can try.
I'd say talk to your therapist about this.
Don't tell people I go to therapy. That's what women do.
Well, if I was being honest, therapists about this. How about that, buddy? How's that for honest?
Okay, well, let's just fucking do the after hours then. Clearly, you never got respect back from me after that. It shows.
Bye, everyone.
Do you think the hat looked cool the whole time? Did it ever,
Dude. Mondo. Epic.
Okay, sick.
Matt and Ryan, that was not funny. But I love Super Mega.